I, 27F, am in love with my gay best friend, 30M. I have met my best friend 3 years ago. Ever since the day we met, we were inseparable. If you believe that friends can be soulmates, then I truly think we are just that. He is beautiful, kind, funny, and just too good of a human being. People never think he is gay, so they always assume we are dating. He tells me that if he weren't gay, that he would want to date me. We both have dated in the time we knew each other, but he recently met someone. We used to be able to talk about our romantic lives with each other, but now when he tells me, I can't help but feel hurt. I think I have known for a while that I have been falling in love with him, but yesterday I finally had the courage to admit it to myself. I came home after a long day of work. We called, and when I hang up the phone I started crying. I haven't felt this kind of heartbreak in forever. I love this guy so much, but the fact that he will never able to love me in the way I want is soul-crushing to me. I need him in my life, but at the same time I am not sure if I can keep doing this. I am just hurting myself. Does anyone have any tips? TLDR. I finally admitted to myself that I am in love with my gay best friend, but don't know what the next step is. There isn't much option. You're going to have to ease off and stop spending so much time with your friend. Cut down on the heart-to-heart phone calls and spend more time trying to meet someone for yourself, who will be able to love you in the way you want. I'm not suggesting you shut the door completely. You're obviously close friends, just that you shift your priorities and focus. What you can learn from your experience with your gay friend is that being friends with someone with no expectations other than being good friends can lead to a deep, loving connection. Make sure when you choose a romantic partner in the future that you can have this kind of friendship with him as well as a physical attraction. I don't have much advice aside from don't tell him. It's very unlikely that he will ever return your feelings in that way. But if he knew how you felt, he may feel guilty and/or weird, and that could change the friendship in ways you wouldn't want. I'm not a fan of telling friends when you have feelings for them regardless, really. In the past, when friends have admitted feelings for me, I have felt like they were expecting me to accept the burden of their feelings, and it always ended badly. Keep the friendship, but maybe back off a little, and also find ways to distract yourself. Are you trying to date other men? Maybe it would help. You need to be the #1 priority in your own life. Distance yourself from them just so you have some time to heal yourself. He's gay. It's never going to happen. I don't really see the point of telling someone that is not into you that you love them, especially in this situation. Unrequited love is hard, but is it real? He's not the one because he doesn't want you. Matthew Hussey has some great advice on this. I'm truly sorry that you're in so much pain. Girl, I get you. I'm 32. My gay bestie is a man. He's 33. This night will be our 10 years anniversary. Yes. We have one. The first day we met, we hated each other, which was 9 tears of joy. We had to hang out at another social event and boom. We have been inseparable since. It's been an interesting road, I will say. It's no easy feat. Both of us at different times have been inappropriate with boundaries in our relationship. In the past, we never were physically in love. Neither of us ever wanted to fuck each other. But everything else about it relationship used to be heavily present. We came to a point, I think about 6 years in, where we realized we were becoming unhealthy and holding one another back because of how close we were. We learned how to shift our dynamic. Not lean on each other every day, multiple times a day, no matter what. Hanging on each other, sharing any detail, etc., etc. Honestly, we do still say we are forever. Because we are. He has been there through the death of my terminally ill son, a divorce, his grandfather dying, him becoming an uncle, job promotions, etc., etc. Just life. He has been and always will be uncle to my children. Heart soulmates do not mean there is only one out there and that they are meant to be our romantic partners. My bestie is listed as my brother on my emergency contacts. I am a auntie, now to the new addition. We are always going to be part of each other's lives. It does take a special person to recognize this though, that comes along romantically in your life. And yes, when you have a partner you have to pre-warn them. Feel them out more, like, be aware of how much space you give both men in your life. Having someone so close that is the opposite sex can be weird, socially taboo and confusing for many reasons. All I'm saying is, sometimes it doesn't have to be this way. I do know how much I lucked out here though, having a partner that accepts, supports and understands my relationship with my best friend who happens to be a gay man. It's sadly rare hetero men can be secure like that. You two sound like us, so there may be hope for a legitimate friendship. Difference maybe with my case versus yours is that we've both said in the past if he wasn't gay, we'd be together. His family always called me his should-be wife, like the whole, "Are you sure you're gay though?" to him bit. It's always been kind of a joke, not a real what if. And honestly my heart goes to you on that. It's a tough spot to be in, no matter beating heart. I have a close gay best friend as well. When we first met when we were teens, he wasn't out of the closet yet, so I thought I had a chance. We spent a ton of time together and I at times did flirt with him, thinking maybe there was a possibility. He eventually did come out of the closet and I realized I still had feelings for him. I focused my attention on trying to meet other people and over time the feelings faded. We're still close but I haven't had romantic feelings for him in years. At least a decade. We're both 29 now. And I'm glad I never pushed it, and chose to focus only on the friendship. He's one of my longest standing and closest friendships. There is a light on the other side of the tunnel and you can preserve the friendship. It's about reframing it in your mind. You have to realize that he is gay and part of you knowing that may be why you want him. I have known many people who get attracted to safe and unobtainable people. He may be great but he's like falling in love with a statue. You need to ask yourself why you're spending so much time and energy on a homosexual. There's a 9 Inch Nails song where he says, "I invented you just to hurt myself, and it worked. And you may have done this." This happens with anyone who spends a lot of time with each other. You start unintentionally using them as a pseudo-crutch for everything you are missing from a relationship. You reach out when you're lonely. You plan things together. You confide in each other. In some ways you're in a relationship without the intimacy. The only thing that fixes this is legitimate space away from each other. I'm not talking just a week or two, I'm talking about several months. You have to cut off all contact. Once this is done and you do meet up, you'll feel a huge difference with your emotions when this person is around. Like a cloud has been lifted over you and you could see them for what they are. To me this is sort of like when you have a long-distance perfect match. Part of the reason everything seems perfect is because you aren't able to be with them. When you can't be together, it is easy to idealize someone. You are comparing guys to him, but you haven't been in a relationship with him and can't be, so you can only imagine what it would be like. When you imagine it, you can make everything perfect. You are friends and you know and may very well love this man, but you QLSO know it will never be so. The little details you can fill in however you like. The mornings you wake up together or the nights after a long day. They all seem perfect with him because they will never be. In reality they would have their own issues. Friend would never react this way if I wanted to go do something with my girlfriends and left him at home. Friend would never come home frustrated from work and treat me like this. Friend would wake up and make me breakfast and tell me I'm beautiful. Friend would never do this or that or anything that he hasn't done. Being in a friendship and even a close friendship with someone is different than dating them. When you can't date, then you can fill in those details however you want and create the perfect person. You need to realize that your guy best friend is not perfect and would also not be perfect in a relationship. You can't hold the two to the same standard. If you need to back away from him some and figure things out. Honestly, this is no different than when you fall in love with someone who could love you that way but they just simply don't. They love someone else and/or will never see you in that light. The fact that he did date you before gave you a sense of hope. But at least now you know it will never be. It doesn't lessen your heartbreak, though. Edited. I misread and thought you two had dated in the past. As in, he was experimenting or still unsure of his sexuality. You actually meant you two had dated other people and it didn't bother you as much as it does now. My apologies. As others have said, you need to ease away. You need to busy yourself with hobbies and/or other people. I'm not saying you have to cut him completely out of your life. But you should consider no contact for a temporary time period. 1 month, 2, 3, etc. It's up to you what you tell him. Do you tell him the truth? Do you just say you need time away but don't want to talk about it? Or do you just fill your schedule and let that become your excuse? How is up to you. And you know what will be best received in this friendship. But you really need to give yourself space and time to heal. When you have come to peace and can open yourself to new people and possibilities, then you know it's time to come back. I'm so sorry. There really isn't much you can do to help yourself except to get some space. I won't say much. You gotta leave. You will only hurt yourself. It sucks. But this is the kind of thing that won't solve itself. You gotta do something. And unfortunately, you'll have to leave before you end up hurting yourself more and hurting him in the process. I've been through this. You can overcome this. And I know you will. You have created a romantic relationship with someone who has not reciprocated romantically. That must be safe for you. I think you need to look into this for yourself. Falling in love with someone who is not available is you being unkind to yourself. Don't spoil the friendship by telling your friend. Work this out for your future relationships. I highly recommend watching the movie The Object of My Affection with Jennifer Aniston and Paul Rudd. It's exactly your situation. This is a sad reality I think many more people confront than actually realized. He or she is everything you could hope for, but they are unattainable or unavailable. What advice would you give to a female best friend who is a lesbian and admitted that she's in love with you? I'm 30 and gay. I have had similar experience. First of all, sex is really important for a relationship to sustain. Let this sink in your mind. No excuses. Just let it sink in. You love the man cause you have developed this amazing friendship with him. Just understand that even if you guys end up into a relationship, it wouldn't last, and that's the stuff about being best friends. These relationships might last or might not last, but this bond called friendship is forever. You would lose really good friend if you were going to act on this love. I'm not suggesting to shed this love you have. Just transform it and build an even closer friendship. Also, if his intimate conversation bothers you, avoid them for now. Trust me, with time, you'll laugh about this. Date someone else. Casually only if the need be. Condition your mind in order to save your friendship. I'd let him know, and not be friends with him anymore. I would never be able to not love him anyway. So being just friends with him would bring me hurt. If he still wants to be friends with you, then sure, be friends. But if he's not comfortable knowing about your feelings, you know that your friendship can't work. The next step is realizing that you can still love your friend, but it will have to be platonic. Even straight people aren't compatible, and that happens. I hope y'all can move on and continue to have a love and friendship. Take this opportunity to invest less in the friendship and more in your romantic life. Are you dating? Because it sounds like this guy's been a placeholder for years and someone you're comparing other men to. Make room in your life for your relationships with other potential romantic partners to grow.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.